Sometimes you remember the very moment when an idea strikes you. And sometimes when an idea strikes you, you know it's a good idea. You know it's an idea that you need to pursue. And something that I've learned about ideas is that you have to really take action on an idea, especially one of these kinds of ideas, as soon as you possibly can. Otherwise, like the longer it takes before you take action on it, the harder it is going to be to take action on it. The more you're going to get in your head overthinking it, trying to be like, okay, what do I actually have to do? You're going to get into a paralysis by analysis. You're going to be stuck in the mind thinking like, well, I don't even know where to start. It's like you just start. You just start taking action on an idea, right? Anyway, the idea for this channel was one of those ideas. I remember the exact moment I was in when it struck me. And I was lying in bed trying to go to sleep at it was like 12 or it was like midnight, maybe 1 a.m. And I had a early ferry to catch the next day to a place called Stewart Island. This was on my New Year's trip going into this new year. And I wanted to get to sleep, but I couldn't get to sleep. My mind was so active, and I was really annoyed about that. And then suddenly, the idea just came. No, what was it? No, it was learn from my mistakes. That was literally the idea. It was just those 4 words, learn from my mistakes. They kind of fell into my mind, and I was like, learn from my mistakes. A YouTube channel where I can tell stories about mistakes I've made in my life, and I can, draw the lesson from it so that other people can avoid those mistakes, right? That was the idea that came to me. And I knew straight away that was a good idea. I could just tell stories because I love telling stories, as you can probably tell. And it was like, okay, I can just turn on the camera, tell a story from my life and, draw the lesson from it to help other people. And so I was thinking about that until 2 a.m. and when I finally got to sleep. And I did catch the ferry, by the way. I got to Stewart Island and had a great adventure there. I met some amazing friends, Trapper and Mosey. Shout out to Trapper and Mosey. Mosey, if you're watching this, thank you. You inspired me to actually take action on this idea. And so it was actually during a walk between Ellen's base camp where I was staying with Trapper Mosey and the township. It was like a 30-minute walk. That's when I just decided on one of those walks, I pulled out the camera and literally, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take action on learn from my mistakes. I'm going to shoot my first video. And so I did that during this walk between Ellen's base camp to the thing. Instead of just walking there and enjoying nature, which realistically I should have been doing rather than, pulling out my phone. But anyway, I just pulled out my phone and started talking and hey, this is my new channel, learn from my mistakes. You can scroll down to the videos at the start of this channel and you can actually see that. And then, yeah, so that was cool and, filmed my first few videos on Stewart Island. And that was great. But what happened was I was thinking about it and I'm like, why do I have to talk about my mistakes? I feel like that's still a little bit limiting because as I was kind of contemplating the idea itself, the way that it fit into my life, it fit really nicely because, I'm going quite hard on other YouTube channels. It's high production value. You can see the studio light here and it's all go. It's a full machine at this point that I'm building on other YouTube channels. I just wanted a channel where I could just show up and be myself and be authentic, tell stories and not have to edit anything or anything like that. Super low production value, you know what I mean? Really easy to just make videos. And so I wanted it to be kind of unlimited. I wanted it to be easy. And so I was thinking well, I still feel a little bit limited with just the idea of telling stories about my mistakes. Why do I have to just talk about my mistakes? Why can't I not just tell just stories in general? What about my positive moments, And so that's when I decided to rename the channel to Josh's Stories, right? And I've been telling stories and that, since that decision. And now, this channel is about 3 months old at this point. I've uploaded about 50 videos, so we're doing quite well. But, some of the videos that I've been uploading, what I realized? Some of them just ain't stories. They're just me being Josh. They're just me joshing around. You know, there's a video of me just like juggling. There's a video of me I did yesterday of just like me being goofy with my keyboard. Like and so I was thinking just now, like just 10 minutes ago, why don't I rename the channel again to just Josh? It's just Josh, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, then it's the most open channel. I can literally do anything on there. There's no, and the whole point is that it's a low effort channel. Like, I specifically don't want to be stuck in this whole game of YouTube where you're like, oh yeah, titles, thumbnails, oh, it's got to be, you know, audience avatar, oh, it's got to be niched down, oh, this, that, and the other. Like, I'm so sick of that. I've just become so tired and jaded from years of trying to grow a YouTube channel, and I'm still not monetized, by the way. 8 years of making YouTube videos, 500 videos, and it's like, I'm about to get monetized on one of my channels, so I've just figured it out. But it's like, after 8 years of that, you just get sick of it, and you just want to be yourself. You just want to make video, because like there's this thing called the production trap. When you start producing stuff, and the higher the higher your standard goes, and the higher you want to produce videos, it's like you get stuck and you feel less authentic, and it's like it's a bit of a trap, man. Like that's what can happen on YouTube. I've literally been there. I've experienced all of it, and that's why I wanted just a channel to be Josh. Like this is just Josh, okay? So that's what, yeah, I'm naming the channel Josh. So so don't subscribe because there's no value here. I'm just being Josh, unless that's what you want to see. I'm still gonna be telling stories, but just like goofing around and stuff. But yeah, that's all. Good luck. I'll see ya.